Tijuana, Mexico, 5:16 in the morning. We meet a high school student named Manuel.
I'm 17 years old.
Who was born across the border in California on the U.S. side, but now lives here in Tijuana, he says, after both his parents got deported. Manuel says he often wonders if it's normal for a student like him and so many others like him to endure what they do each day as they cross into the U.S. for an education. For example, on this morning, on the Mexican side, young U.S.-bound school students pass dozens of exhausted Central American refugees sleeping on the pavement, members of a caravan in the news that's been refused entrance into the United States. After moving past them, Manuel and other students will then have to make the long walk across this pedestrian bridge to the U.S. side, a 500-meter-long walk through an iron and glass structure that some call the cage. Manuel says the walking across it process seems like it's out of a science fiction film. Tiny figures of humans seen making their way through it. Every morning, several hundred U.S.-born children of Mexican-born parents who've been deported from the United States make their way to school in the U.S. this way. Mornings in Tijuana, says Manuel, that begin very early.
Okay, basically I wake up, I put my alarm at 3:50, so I can be like waking up and stuff, and like around
3:50 in the morning.
Yeah, and around 4, that's when I wake up. I prepare my backpack, my clothes, I take a shower, and then like at 5:15 I get out of my house.
Manuel and other students living in Tijuana are allowed to enter the U.S. every morning because they're U.S. citizens, though technically they're not allowed in schools on the U.S. side because they don't live in the school district. What are their policies there? Like, do you have to be living in the district?
The policy in school is like supposed to be living over there so you can go to school. Basically they don't know I'm crossing every day.
For this reason, he's asked us to use the name Manuel and not his real name. The crossing from Tijuana begins by walking up this ramp toward the pedestrian bridge. There's so many people.
Well, basically, like most of the people are crossing. Like if you see teenagers with backpacks, they're probably going to school or college, and the other people are going to work.
How long is the line?
Well, it depends. Every day is like longer or shorter. But I think today is like in the middle of the bridge, so I would do like an hour and a half.
We're gonna wait an hour and a half.
Yeah, or it depends. If my friends are there, I can like cut the line and go with them.
We meet other high schoolers waiting in line to enter the U.S., like Victor and his sister Maria and cousin Abigail. All three born in the United States who could live in the U.S. with relatives but don't because they choose to live with parents deported in Tijuana. Why do you go through this?
Because like we have family members on the other side, and we of course want to be with them. Like my mom got deported, and then I need to cross the border to see her every day. She's my sister.
It's your sisters?
And these are her cousins. Like they were born here, but like their parents are Mexican. They got deported, so so both parents are here, and I have my dad over there. Everyone should have the privilege to go to school, even when it's difficult. You should try to go to school. Education is the right thing.
How do you describe all these kids every day?
Yeah, it's mostly teenagers, high schoolers, even elementary kids come here. My dream is to go to college and make my parents happy.
And you're willing to go through this every day?
Of course, just to make them happy. And show them that I will get my education and have a future.
Among other school kids leaving Tijuana this morning is 6-year-old Pablito. His mom a U.S. citizen, his dad a Mexican who's been denied a visa to move to the U.S.
Me han negado la visa 3 veces. No me han dicho ninguna razón en específico porque me han dicho que no. Ahorita él no pregunta mucho porque tal vez no tiene, no ha tenido esa separación tan larga. No, desde que él ha estado chico, siempre viene y siempre es la misma rutina. Entonces, siempre hemos mantenido la cuestión de yo estoy acá porque estoy trabajando, porque no puedo ir allá con tu mamá. pero algún día voy a ir, cuando yo termine mi trabajo. Entonces esa cuestión se ha mantenido así. Por lo mismo de que si le intentas explicar que es porque es una visa y que el consulado no te la da, ahorita no lo va a entender.